I'm going to be sharing with you in this video how to always be in your power and never doubt yourself ever again. Now, I'm not saying that there's not going to be times where maybe you do feel a little bit of doubt or you do feel out of your power, but I'm going to be sharing with you in this video how to avoid those situations at all costs. Not because you're running away from anything, not because you're scared of anything or are afraid to look at something or whatever people will try to convince you of when you're in your power. Because when you're in your power and you have key discernment, people will try to distract you and convince you why actually you're not in your power and why maybe you're doing something wrong and try to gaslight you or convince you otherwise. I'm going to share with you in this video how to avoid that, how to stay in your power, how to trust yourself and always know that you are on the right track. And if you're not on the right track, to know that too and to find the solution that you need to move forward from that situation. So if you're new to this channel, what I want you to do is I want you to hit that subscribe button. I want you to hit that notification bell because I do actually post a new video every single day. Also, if you want to work with me one-on-one personally, hit the link that's in the description box of this video to apply for a free consultation. Now, the first thing that I want to share with you in this video that I found in my experience in terms of how to always be in your power and never doubt yourself ever again is to, number one, know when it's time to use your voice and know when it's time to walk away from a situation. See, every moment calls for something different. Every moment is dependent on your intentions, other people's intentions, your world, their world, other factors to consider, like what is your energy levels in that moment, what do you have to do. Like there's never like just a black and white, this is how you should live your life in this moment, because each moment is of course unique. Now, what I found in my experience is that discernment is very powerful. If you can learn to trust in your discernment, you are going to remove so much stress, so much anxiety, and so much trauma from your life. And I say trauma in this way because from a divine creation perspective, you can stop creating situations that are out of alignment with your heart. I'm not talking about running away from things or feeling like you will manifest the things in your life if you have a challenge. That's not what I'm talking about. This video is not about running away, because when I communicate things like this, the first thing that pops into people's mind that I found comes up a lot when I talk with clients or record videos is there's this fear of like, oh, but what if I'm afraid? What if I'm not looking at something, right? What if I'm running away from one of my challenges or one of my problems? Look, being in your power and trusting your voice and having clear boundaries on what you like and what you don't like has nothing to do with running away from your problems. It's about understanding yourself and your voice to know what is taking you out of your power and to simply have boundaries with that. That doesn't mean that you're in fear. It means that you understand who you are to a point where you can communicate powerfully what you don't like and what you do like in this reality. And that takes courage to do that. That takes courage because not everybody is going to understand you. Not everybody is going to resonate with you. Not everybody is going to help you or have your best intent or be in alignment with your intentions. Not everybody is going to be in alignment with that. So you have to have the discernment within yourself to know when it's time to use your voice or not use your voice, or to stay silent and to walk away from a situation, or to actually know maybe it is time to use your voice and speak up on this, because that's going to help you get further clarity on something you really care about and something that your heart actually wants. You know, I sometimes, when I get passionate, when I get really expressive about something, people think like, oh, I'm an ego, or, you know, he's running away from something, or he's running away from his problems, or whatever, blah, 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 blah. It's like, I'm not an ego. I'm not an ego. Actually, I just get passionate about what I actually care about. That doesn't mean I'm angry. It can seem like anger, and if you want to see it in that way, that's fine. Maybe it is anger. Call it whatever word you want to use. Emotion and expression towards what you want and boundaries with what you don't want does not mean you're an ego. And I understand the concerns that I'm going to get with recording a video like this, but I want to ask you this. Where are you not trusting your voice? That's my question. Because anybody that has resistance around that usually doesn't trust themselves. And that thing is that we have to stop doing this. We have to stop not trusting ourselves, which I'll get to that in just a moment in this video. But I want you to understand that I'm not even here to tell you what to do to be in your power. I'm not going to tell you to go do that meditation or to go speak up to that person or to tell you what instructions to do. Sometimes if I feel called, I may teach somebody some structure or some meditation practice or some technique or whatever it is in that moment that perhaps resonates with that situation. I will do that. But my highest intention and highest desire for my community, for the people that I work with, for my clients, for my friends, for any human being, any being that I'm connected with in this universe, my intention is for you to know whether you're in alignment or not. Not necessarily to not need me or to not have support. I'm not talking about not having support. I'm not talking about not having coaches, not having mentors, not having the people in your life that you want to have in your life to help you to go where you want to go. I'm talking about knowing if that is actually a supportive relationship where you're in your power while that interaction is happening, and to know in each moment of your life whether you're participating in a relationship that is energetically aligned with your personal truth, their personal truth, and then the truth of existence itself, and to align all these things together as one. How do you think your life would change if you knew for a fact that you are in alignment in a particular moment, or that something is quote unquote messing with your alignment, and you know how to actually navigate that situation from your heart space to take care of that resistance, to not look at that resistance from a place of trying to investigate the problem too much, so to speak, and then end up fitting into that resistance. I'm talking about how to navigate that situation where you can still see everything that's happening in your field, but you know what to give energy to and simply what not to give energy to. How do you think your life would change if you had that skill? And honestly, it's interesting that I'm here in this video teaching it to you as a skill, because actually it's your natural guidance system. But I have to record this video and remind you and teach you this skill because humanity has so far disconnected from their natural intuition that you have videos like this and people like me, which their intention is to help you, remind you of that. But my highest intention is to get to the point where you don't even need that anymore. But that still doesn't contradict, if you want to have a friend or a coach or a mentor or somebody to help you, that's fine. But you're not giving away your power in that relationship. You don't want to give away your power in a relationship of any kind. If you do, my intention is for you to see that energy dynamic is happening, and then to switch the energy and pull back into yourself. Simply to be aware of when you're giving away your power is about 99% of this of this video, and what it is that I'm trying to communicate to you here is just simply to know, just simply to be aware when you're out of alignment. I wish I could communicate to you how much peace I felt in my life, how much harmony, how much equanimity I felt in my life, how much non-resistance I've had in my life since I've learned to trust my voice and my power again. What's resonating for me and what's not resonating for me. Can't tell you how many years of my life I wasted, although I wouldn't quite say I wasted it, because of course it was a good learning lesson to explore that. It's an interesting exploration. And I'm saying it in that way now, or rationalizing it in that way now. Of course, everything is a rationalization to help you get closer to where you want to go. We're all using rationalizations. The question is, are you conscious of that or unconscious of that? But we'll save that for another video. But I went through years of misery and suffering simply because I chose, even though I didn't realize at the time it was a choice, to not trust in my voice. And when you're in a victim-based mentality, when you're in a victim-based consciousness, you'll do everything in your power to convince yourself that it's not a choice, and that it's the outside world making you feel this way, and that you feel bad because of what this person did, and that. Look, I'm just going to be straight up with you. It's never the external world. It's always your choice to put yourself in a situation where you feel out of your power. Now, I'm not saying that sometimes we can get into such dense consciousness where it can really, really, really seem like it's not that that it's not you and that it is the external world. It can really seem that way. And on some level, it does become true if you give it enough energy, and it actually does become your reality. But there also exists the reality which makes you feel more empowered, and you can choose which perspective you want. There's no right or wrongs, except the perspective that I'm offering you here will perhaps increase your quality of life. And doesn't it make sense to only give energy to things that are increasing the quality of your life? Isn't that like common sense? Like, spirituality has turned into this thing where it's like we keep focusing on the problem, but it's like, shouldn't everything in life be one step closer to getting more in alignment with the solution and what your heart wants? Why would we give energy to anything that is not supportive to you or helping all people on the planet? That's all I'm saying, but we'll see that for another video too. Anyways, you can start to have discernment when you're actually in alignment. And I'm telling you, I have been in situations where I gave so much energy to things that weren't serving, and I healed those situations literally within seconds. Multiple years of being down a journey and timeline of a non-resonant frequency shifted my reality within seconds by knowing that I was out of alignment, and then to shift my energy as needed to get back into alignment with who I am, with what I believe. I believe that we can actually avoid negative circumstances and situations very powerfully simply by understanding if you're in alignment. And when I say avoid, I'm not talking about running away from anything. I'm simply talking about having discernment to not give situations energy that are not resonating for you. There's a huge difference. Because what I'm teaching you here, or explaining to you here, so to speak, can be taken as a permission slip and as a reason to further go out of your power and to be out of alignment with your heart, if you choose to see it in that way. But my intention here is to help you to see it in a way that boosts your power, that makes you see, like, for example, anger, for example, is not a bad emotion. Anger is just simply you expressing out into the universe what you resonate with. Doesn't mean you're an ego, doesn't mean you're not spiritual or whatever people believe these days. Doesn't mean there's anything wrong. There's nothing wrong. You're not an ego, and you're not a spiritual being. You just simply are learning to trust your voice again. Leave a comment down below if this is making sense to you. I believe that like energy attracts like energy. And if you're attracted to this video, you're probably having similar realizations that I am. And I want you to leave a comment down below if this is resonating for you, to show everybody else in this community, like, we're all going through the same thing. Like, are you learning to trust your voice again, and you're realizing, like, oh yeah, I don't have to feed energy to resistance? Leave a comment down below if you're realizing this. Let's come together and rejoice in our power, and remember that actually I can be in my power, you can be in your power, and we don't have to take away from each other by doing that. We can all play our own role and play our movie, create our movie, and we don't need to be bumping heads in order to do that. That resistance, we don't need to create that resistance. We don't need to give energy to the resistance. You can see the resistance and say no to that. Leave a comment down below if that's what you're seeing, just like I am, because I'm realizing this more and more the last couple of months, and I'm here to just be another person on this planet to remind you that perhaps you are realizing the same thing, and to trust that, to actually trust that. Yes, your voice is powerful. If you're not resonating with something, yes, you're right. Not because they're wrong, but because you're right, period. Not about because they're wrong or I need to prove this person. No. It's not about proving, it's just I'm right for me, and you can be right for you. And can we come together when we both resonate and actually are flowing together? And if we're not resonating, to do what is needed. The second thing that I want to share with you in this video is to stop doubting your natural state. If you've been attracted to this video, you're probably going through an awakening or realizing who you are again. And awakening, in my opinion, is the same as actually being aligned with life itself. Awakening is simply being who you are moment to moment and owning your creations and your desires and what it is that you truly want to create. That's what I believe a true awakening is, or at least one aspect of awakening or life or whatever, just one area to explore. In this current consciousness exploration that we're both participating in, you're perhaps realizing that your voice is powerful and that you do have choice in what you give energy to and what you create. I want to remind you to stop doubting in your natural state and your voice. Stop it. Just stop doubting it. Stop it. And this is an important reminder to have, because sometimes what can happen is that as we start to realize this, we have distractions popping up in our experience trying to sway us and convince us why our realizations are wrong and why we're not right and why maybe even we're crazy or something or whatever people will convince you of. There's going to be so people trying to push at you in the perfect way to get you to believe in their reality. Not because there's anything wrong with their reality or because anything's wrong at all, because they have their reality and they have a right to have their reality. They have a right to have their opinion. But you have a right to have your opinion. And you have a right to have your perspective. Are you actually owning that fully moment to moment? That's the question. Many are not. And that leaves them in a position where they simply feel powerless and disconnected from their heart. When you stop trusting your voice, you're going to notice this in your experience as disconnection from this moment. You're going to feel apathy. You're going to feel disconnected from your heart. You're going to feel chaotic. You're going to feel not in alignment. You're going to feel terrible for a very good reason, because your higher self is telling you that something is not resonating. Why are you not listening to that? Why? Because somebody told you something that you don't agree with? Screw what they told you. Trust yourself, you know? And I'm not here to tell you to attack anybody. I'm just saying, like, you need that passion sometimes. You need that anger, because you need to realize, wait a second, no, I don't like that. I don't like that perspective. I don't resonate with that. And to believe in what you want to believe in. Sometimes we need that, because we've so far gone in someone else's reality, we forgot, what do I like? What do I believe in? Stop doubting your natural state. That's what I'm here to remind you of. Now, the third thing that I want to share with you in this video, in terms of how to always be in your power and never doubt yourself ever again. And again, remember to just trust that. I just wanted to give you that message to remind you to trust that. The last thing that I have for you in this video is to actually shift your paradigm from there is an external world that is affecting me, and start to come back into your center of, if I'm in a situation that's not resonating, I'm choosing to participate in that interaction. Very big paradigm shift. If you get what I'm saying right now, prepare for your reality to shift in incredible ways that you're perhaps not able to shift into because of your misalignment based on your past decisions. And that's not even you judging your past self. That's actually realizing that, oh yeah, I just wasn't aware enough to actually know that there was a choice to do so. But you do whatever you want. I'm not here to convince you or to control you or to manipulate you into doing anything that you don't want to do, or to, I'm not here to convince you anything. I'm creating my reality, you create yours. And this video, for me, is just an in alignment action that's in alignment with my reality, and hopefully it helps you to create your reality too and create a win-win. That's the honest truth. That's the honest truth of the situation here. I'm not here to convince you of anything. I'm here to create my reality, you create yours. But if I was to give you any invitations or to tell you what to do, this is all I would say. And I'm not here to tell you to do anything, because I want people to trust themselves. And if listening to me tell you what to do is part of trusting yourself, then fine. But let it come from that space of, this is resonating for me and I want to actually do this because I'm trusting myself. I encourage you to actually take responsibility of your energy in every single moment. Take responsibility of your choices. Okay, you can't control people, but you can control your choices and how you live in the world, right? And if you're in a situation that's not resonating and feels disharmonious, I want you, what I actually want for you, what I want for every person watching this, is to start to see that as, okay, I'm choosing to engage and give energy to something that I don't actually agree with or resonate with. To have and remember that that is your natural paradigm and natural state of being, is to be grounded in your heart. And if something's not resonating, to trust that and to be like, oh yeah, I'm choosing, so I'm just going to eject out of this or use my voice or whatever to realign my frequencies and re-alchemize that situation back into harmony with what I prefer to create and what I prefer to see in this universe. But see, most people believe there's an external world to blame or to judge or to argue with, you know? Like, how would your life change if you stop believing that you have to judge people? Or you stop believing that you have to argue with people to manifest your reality? How would your life change if you stop believing that you have to not feel good in your reality so that you can participate in somebody else's reality so that they can feel good? And the truth is that they don't feel good. If you don't feel good, they don't feel good. That's been my experience. If you feel out of your power, they feel out of their power. It's a lose-lose dynamic. I have never seen it in my life where I'm in my power and then it's a win for them. It can be like that sometimes, but even if they think it's a win, it's not a win for them because actually they're out of their power too in that moment, and they don't realize it and they're not willing to own that. They're also trying to convince. They're also trying to manipulate or be controlling in some way. If you find yourself like manipulating or controlling or like trying to like meddle your way into somebody else's reality and not be in alignment with your own, all that's telling you is that you have belief systems in your consciousness, in your field, where you believe that you have to control and manipulate energetically other people's reality in order to harmonize with your own. And that has never been the truth. If you believe that it's the truth, you'll manifest an experience that is in accordance to those beliefs. But what you'll notice is that you feel very drained and out of your power when you choose to participate in an engagement that is grounded upon that kind of belief. When you shift your paradigm to I'm in my reality and I don't have to be in someone else's reality that I don't resonate with, what you'll notice is that you're back in your power. You feel peaceful again. And you remember that you never had to suffer. You never had to suffer. Like, I can't tell you, like, there's been moments in my life recently where I was like, oh my gosh, like this thing that didn't resonate for me, that I chose to speak on and ground into my being, that could have caused me like multiple years of suffering and issues that I just stopped because I trusted myself and my intuition and my discernment. Whereas in the past, I let myself go down those timelines that I obviously didn't care about. And it's very healing. Healing happens when you stop giving energy to what you don't actually care about and never cared about, but you believe that you had to care about it when you didn't want to care about it. That's healing. In my experience, that's when I started to heal, and that's when I started to feel a lot healthier even, and when I started to have more abundance in my life, when things started to manifest in a way that they couldn't before, when I started to take responsibility of my energy as I am the creator of my reality and I'm choosing to give away my power, that is when everything started to shift for me. And I encourage you to step into that if you want to feel powerful and to always be in your power and never doubt yourself really ever again. And if you do doubt yourself, to know that, to see that you're choosing to create an energy of I feel out of my power right now, and then to do what you actually feel called to do. Not because you have to, because you feel called to do that thing in that moment. And with that, I conclude this video. Once again, if you want to work with me one-on-one personally, hit the link that's in the description box of this video to apply for a free consultation. It's also going to be in the comments of this video as well. Also, leave a like on this video because I do believe that actually every single person on this planet does deserve to know that they are divine creators of their reality, and that actually they can manifest their reality and do so in the most effortless and easy way possible, helping themselves and helping others in the process as well. And hitting that like button does help the YouTube algorithm push the videos out to more people, and that would be greatly appreciated. As always, enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video.